Hello guys, I wanted to show you my 5-week post-op nose reveal. This is what she's looking like from the front. This is her from the side. Other side. The nostrils, thing in there, it's not a booger, it's just a stitch that still needs to dissolve. Overall, I am very happy with my nose and how she's turned out. Granted, she's still very swollen and the tip is still very high up, but as the weeks progress, it will drop.
Again. Guys, welcome back to my channel. I really came across a video recently on TikTok. And as you see there, that woman is extremely happy with the nose that she's been given. And I saw another woman named Cecilia Regina on TikTok talking about this growing trend of Black women or women of Afrocentric features going overseas and just altering their faces, doing these drastic things like that you just saw.
Their features are night and freaking day, and then being shocked when the women do something extreme to them. If the beauty standard Black men praised was looking Black, that's what would be popular. But it's a red herring. They pretend to complain about wigs and weaves and contour and this and that, but every song they rap about is praising the long-haired, light-skinned, the yellow bone, the red bone, the exotical. So you want girls who look like that just naturally. You want the Black beauty standard to be as little looking Afrocentric as possible. And you want the ability to create this fake ass discourse where you get to punish women for meeting that standard artificially. Because what you really want is the ability to be with women who are not Black or who are only partially Black and then say, well, that's just my preference. I just like these features. And if actual Black women can buy those features, you no longer have an excuse.
She's got a Whoville nose. Not to make fun of her, but it looks bad. And actually, it's not Eurocentric. It's almost like a clown look. What Cecilia Regina was talking about, her argument was powerful. She said that if women consistently receive love and validation and appreciation from within their own communities, the Black communities, they wouldn't feel the need or they wouldn't feel pressured to change themselves to fit someone else's beauty standard. Now, I agree with that 1000%. And the reason it struck a chord is from my own experience, and I'll get to that later in the video. But the truth is that beauty has always been defined by those in power. And that's what Cecilia Regina left out in her video. She kept saying, we see it in the movies, we see it in culture, we see it in global standard of beauty. Koreans wanting to make their skin lighter, or Japanese, and everyone trying to lighten their skin, even Indians, right? And even depicted in our museums, right? Rarely do we see statues of African queens or kings or anyone of darker skin with more melanin. They're not celebrated as much or represented as much. I even thought of immediately how they made Jesus a white man with blonde hair, with blue eyes and like light hair. He would have been, if anything, more darker because Arabs or people in the Middle East are a little more tan. But even when Black history is represented, it is sometimes washed out or minimized. We see women of lighter skin get the better roles, right? Think Halle Berry, she's a mixed woman. So what message does this send to the younger generation of Black women that were born naturally beautiful with dark complexions and kinky hair? It sends this message that their features are not enough, that her value is only going to increase when she applies these measures to make herself more white. So sadly, that message is reinforced within their own families and communities. So getting to the point of what I saw growing up, I came from an Afro-Spanish household. My dad is African and it has some Indian ancestry and some even British ancestry. My mom is Spanish and she's mostly fair skinned. I remember my darker cousins on my mother's side being mistreated or told that they're little negritas running around. My great-grandmother, she would ask my grandfather, why have these little Black children? And he has to remind her, they're your grandchildren. That's a generational self-hate problem passed down casually as family recipes by the elders. Here's the twist. While Black women are changing themselves to be seen, Black men, once they gain success, right, they often seek out white women. We see this in every year when we see the NFL draft or any draft that's happening. It's always about this validation that these Black men get by picking the white girl, right? The white girl is going to stick it through with me, when they don't realize that that white woman just sees them as money most of the time. Sometimes it's for love, but hey, that's a status symbol for Black men. They see it as, I have made it. I am now in the room with people like Tiger Woods, O.J. Simpson, you name it, right? Black women continue to feel invisible and unseen from the men in their own community. And while Black men, are chasing whiteness as a form of self-worth, Black women are accepting that, well, I guess this is who we are. We're not going to be admired. But things are changing. I see more Black women hooking up now with white men and going outside their comfort zone. And they realize that these white men are admiring their strength, their fortitude, their education, their creativity, their resilience, and their ability to hold these white men down. They're nurturing, ambitious, loyal, and often they don't even need that man's money, right? Because Black women traditionally are used to working and saying, I got to work twice as hard to succeed, right? They are actually were the most marginalized. I think we're kind of moving up the ladder now as Black women or women of color. But see, what we're seeing here is a cultural imbalance fueled by a deep, unhealed wound in the Black community. Many Black women don't change themselves because they want to. They do it because they don't feel seen or loved by their own Black men. They start to do the wigs, they start to do the eye contacts, the whatever, to make themselves closer to whiteness. And it's heartbreaking to see how far this ripple of colonialism and white supremacy still reaches. This is why I say it's about those who are in power. If we had more Black women represented in our sphere as beautiful, this would change the tone a bit, right? Black men typically don't celebrate the Black women with natural hair, full lips, or broad noses, or rich skin tones until they change it. And that's what Cecilia Regina was saying. When they finally change it, then they're like, oh, they take notice and then want to badger and belittle that woman for doing this extreme thing. But until they can, Black men can look at a Black woman or a woman of color and say, she is just as attractive. Then until then, we'll keep seeing the surgeries, the wigs, the identity confusion. But I hope that we do get to a place, like Dr. King said, where we judge people not just based on their skin color, but the content of their character, right? Who cares what size nose? My nose grew 3 sizes after each kid, and I had 3. I am perfectly comfortable with the fact that I have a big nose, and I don't care. I will rock this nose until I'm 100, and I'm happy for it because it makes me unique. I think if I even changed my nose, I would probably be scared to look at myself. And yes, I wear wigs to experiment with my looks, but there are days and videos where I have my natural hair. I feel that once we get to a point where we can fully be accepted for who we are, no edits, no filters, no conditions, then we will start to see this cycle where people are uplifted. Black women especially are uplifted in the community. If you're a Black man watching this, okay, ask yourself what part you play in this cycle. Do you uplift the women in your community? Your mothers, your sisters. Do you say you're beautiful? Do you tell them, I don't care if your hair is kinky. I don't care if your hair is this way. I don't care if you don't have blue eyes. Your Blackness is beauty, right? I mean, there's women of all different spectrums that I see and I go, wow, that woman is beautiful. But I don't believe, and I truly don't believe, that we're there yet. I still believe that Black men look at their Black sisters and say, nah, they want the white girl with the long blonde hair and the blue eyes and I say pancake butt, but most of them have barely any butt. And, they want it because it's a status. Understand, it's like having a trophy, right? It's like having a prize and saying, see, I got this prize. And that means that now I'm one of you. I fit in the club. Well, here's a takeaway to you gentlemen. You will never be a part of the club, okay? No matter how much money you have, how much white women you slept with, you will never be a part of the club because that club was made for one specific group of people only, and I won't say who they are here. What you need to accept is that women are beautiful on all different spectrums and appreciate women for what they bring to the table. I don't care if you're with a white woman. I'm married to a white man because he's who actually treated me the best out of all the men I dated. All the black men I dated treated me like trash, like actual trash, you know, and did not like when I didn't straighten my hair or wear the weaves or look good. They wanted me to look as close to whiteness as possible. If I wore my hair in an afro or out curly, they were like, no, I like the other look better. My point is, start to recognize that the women in your community are beautiful just the way they are. And drop a comment and share this if it resonates with you. And most of all, love yourself and think for yourself. Have a great day.